So my involvement with Playing with Death started when Simon dusted off an old radio play featuring one of the main villains, and we then met up with Alex Scarrow to discuss ideas. Often we would meet up and chuck around ideas to develop them. And there was something about the character of what Simon wrote that was really appealing. And through an afternoon discussing ideas, we kind of came up with the idea that having a family and having an FBI law enforcement officer would be a great way to maximise the potential of the story, but also give it future room to do further episodes. So that was the result of that discussion, and we started to write an outline of how we could proceed with these characters, as well as looking at modern day fears and concerns, as well as kind of anticipating where these things could go. So
for Playing for Death came back in 1995 when I wrote a radio play as a response to something I'd read in the Sunday Times, and it was an article that sort of said that the porn industry in America had been the key driving force behind internet developments. It was the porn industry that sort of made credit card transactions possible. It's a porn industry that allowed for JPEG file formats, that allowed for the sharing of pornographic images and so on. And at the time, and this is 1995, the porn industry was worth as much to the American economy as the car industry. Now that's quite a staggering fact. I mean, I had no idea of the scale of the thing. Now, this was also at a time when the internet was just about to come online, and there were certain sort of prognostications about the way this was going. And I thought, my God, you know, if this is the technology that's behind the driving force of the internet, then quite clearly, as the internet develops, it will be at the forefront of this will be porn, sex, and so on, and crime. So this was the idea. This was the kind of the influence that sort of caused me to write this radio play. Then scroll forward many, many years, and after I'd become a historical novelist, one of the things I hadn't forgot was this original idea. And every so often, I meet up with my brother Alex, who's also an author, and Lee, who is my co-writer on this project. And we used to kick around ideas. You know, we'd share ideas and sort of say, okay, what's in your ideas book? Let's have a look at that, talk through that. And this idea came up, and I thought, well, what about this? And Lee and Alex both thought that there was something really, really good in this and that we could sort of use. So we tinkered around with the idea and came up with what became Playing with Death.
Death, murder, execution, these are only words, Rose Blake. What matters is the chain of events that led to their end, choices that justified their end.